is humming, flickering in blue. Open 24 hours, but it doesn't mention you. The waitress pours a coffee, steam rising like a ghost. I'm sitting in the corner, the one you hated most. The jukebox is broken, stuck on a country tune, about a man who lost it all beneath a paper moon. I'm staring at the menu like it's written in a code, while the headlights of the truckers hit the wet and oily road. It's midnight at the diner, the graveyard of the heart, where the lonely come to pieces and the broken fall apart. There's a salt shaker licking on the floor like a tabletop, waiting for a feeling or a memory to stop. Just the smell of burnt grease and the ticking of the clock, while I'm drifting like a vessel that can't find a place to dock. Yeah, it's midnight, midnight at the diner. I keep checking the door every time the bell rings, expecting it's your shadow and the trouble that it brings. But it's just another drifter with a collar turned up high, looking for a shelter from a bruised and heavy sky. I'm tracing circles in the sugar, building mountains out of white, trying to bury every word we traded in the fight. The pie case is empty, the floor is swept clean, but I'm still stuck in the middle of a black and white scene. The fluorescent lights are humming a low frequency hum, numbing out the places where I've finally gone numb. I don't wanna go home to the house that we made. I'd rather sit here in the neon and the shade. It's midnight at the diner, the graveyard of the heart, where the lonely come to pieces and the broken fall apart. There's a salt shaker leaking on the floor like a tabletop, waiting for a feeling or a memory to stop. Just the smell of burnt grease and the ticking of the clock, while I'm drifting like a vessel that can't find a place to dock. Yeah, it's midnight, midnight at the diner. Check, please. I've had enough of this, walking out into the rain. Midnight, just midnight.
The blinds are half open like a tired eye, watching the embers spill over the sky. Everything's honey, everything's deep, a promise the afternoon's trying to keep. I'm sitting in the spot where the warmth hits the floor, waiting for the shadow to creep toward the door. It's a beautiful fever, a fever of light, holding back the onset of a long, lonely night. In the golden hour glow, the world is a dream, ripping apart at a soft light. It seems it's the prettiest way watch something end with a halo of gold around a broken dust on the bookshelf is shimmering now, like diamonds on top of a heavy dark brow. I look at your picture, the glass is aflame. I'm losing the edges of your favorite name. It's a temporary kindness, this wash of the sun, illuminating all of the things we haven't done. But the clock is a hunter, the shadows are long, and the light is just the intro to a lonesome song. Why does the ending look so much like gold? Why is the warmest part the one I can't hold? It's a trick of the optics, a slant of the eye, the most beautiful part of a long form goodbye. In the golden hour glow, the world is a dream, ripping apart at a soft light. It seems it's the prettiest way to watch something end, with a halo of gold around a broken up friend. I'm soaking in the warmth of a fire that's gone, a high color version of a heart moved on. Just a moment of grace before the low, and the golden hour glow. Fade into copper, fade into rust, leaving me here in the sun-drenched dust. It's gone. The glow.
I still catch your scent in the hallway breeze, a sudden chill that brings me to my knees. I see your keys on the counter where they used to lay, but I reach for the metal and it melts away. It's the flicker of a shadow in the kitchen light, the way the floorboards groan in the middle of the night. You're everywhere and nowhere all at once, a haunting that's been going on for months. It's the ghost of a good thing rattling the cage, the ink that won't dry on a finished page. I'm living in a house that's built or used to be, with the spirit that won't set the memories free. We were a fire, now we're just the smoke, the punchline of a very cruel joke. I'm haunted by the best of us, the ghost of a good thing. I try to redecorate, try to change the view, but the walls are saturated with the thought of you. I bought new sheets, but I sleep on your side. There's no corner left where I can actually hide. You're the song that plays when the tavern goes dark, the cold gray ash of a beautiful spark. I'm not afraid of the bumps in the night, I'm afraid of the version of us that was right. You don't need a sheet or a chain to be real, you just need the weight of the way that I feel. If I stop remembering, would you disappear, or would I just be lonely in the atmosphere? It's the ghost of a good thing rattling the cage, the ink that won't dry on a finished page. I'm living in a house that's built or used to be, with the spirit that won't set the memories free. We were a fire, now we're just the smoke, the punchline of a very cruel joke. I see you in the corner of my eye, but when I turn around, it's just the sky, just a ghost. Just a ghost. Echoes, echoes. I left the TV on to kill the quiet, but the silence is starting a riot in my head. I'm walking circles in the kitchen light, tripping over things you never said. The rug still shows the dent where your chair sat, a little ghost of where you used to be. I'm talking to the walls like they'll talk back, but they're just mirrors reflecting me. Now it's just echoes in an empty hall, the sound of my own heart hitting the wall. I'm calling your name just to hear the vibration, a hollowed out desperate communication. Every floorboard creaks like a footstep you're taking, but it's just the house or the sound of me breaking. Just echoes, echoes in an empty hall. I found a penny on the hardwood floor, heads up like a luck I don't have anymore. I threw it down the hallway just to hear it ring, to feel the sting of any physical thing. The dust is settling on the picture frames. I'm losing the faces, I'm losing the names. Just a rhythmic thrum in the dead of the night, of a love that didn't put up a fight. Can you hear me? Are you there? Or am I just shouting at the empty air? The answer is always the same, just the ghost of a flame. Now it's just echoes in an empty hall, the sound of my own heart hitting the wall. I'm calling your name just to hear the vibration, hollowed out desperate communication. Every floorboard creaks like a footstep you're taking, but it's just the house or the sound of me breaking. Just echoes, 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 echoes in an empty hall. Hello, is anyone home? Just echoes, just me. The morning light is a cruel kind of thief, exposing the layers of my quietest grief. It's been 6 months since I opened the blinds to the ghost of the life that we left behind. I'm standing here with the cloth in my hand, in a house that feels more like a desert of sand. And there you are, smiling in a silver frame, while the silence is screaming your beautiful name. There's a thin gray veil, a soft heavy shroud, like a storm that got stuck in a stationary cloud. It's the dust on your picture, the frost on the glass, the slow motion ticking of the hours that pass. I wanna reach out and just wipe it away, but if I touch the surface, what's left to say? I'm living in a museum of used to be, with the dust on your picture staring at me. I remember the day that this photo was taken, before every pillar of us had been shaken. You were laughing at something I said off screen, the happiest version of you I had seen. Now you're trapped in the resin, a moment in time, while I'm down here committing a slow motion crime of letting the world settle over your face until you're just a shadow in an empty space. If I clean it, does that mean I'm ready to see that the person in the frame isn't coming for me? Or is the coat of the gray just a way to pretend that the story we wrote hasn't come to an end? There's a thin gray veil, a soft heavy shroud, like a storm that got stuck in a stationary cloud. It's the dust on your picture, the frost on the glass, the slow motion ticking of the hours that pass. I wanna reach out and just wipe it away, but if I touch the surface, what's left to say? I'm living in a museum of used to be, with the dust on your picture staring at me. Dust. I'm staring at the ceiling where the plaster is cracked, mapping out the things that I can't take back. The alarm clock is screaming, but I'm miles away in a version of Tuesday that didn't turn gray. I'm wearing the shirt that you said was your favorite, holding the moment and trying to savor it, in a house with a porch and a swing in the back, where the windows don't rattle and the paint doesn't lack. I'm just dreaming of a different life, a different skin, where the might have beens finally let me in. No hollowed out hallways, no shadows of doubt, just a world where we figured the hard parts out. I'm closing my eyes just to feel the sun on the beautiful version of us. dreaming of a different life. The sun is too bright, the dream is too far. I'm back in the room, right where we are. Just dreaming, still dreaming.
The streetlights are glowing like halos in pink. It's funny how fast the whole mountain can shrink into a soft edge, sugary haze. The blur of our messy and beautiful days. I'm walking through sweetness that's heavy and thick. A memory so cloying, it's making me sick. But I can't see my hands, and I can't see the floor, and I can't find the handle to your front door. I'm lost in a cotton candy fog, drifting like smoke through a hollowed out log. It's pretty and spinning, it's airy and light, but it's hiding the stars from the edge of the night. It's a pastel color, beautiful light, dissolving the moment. I try to say why, sticky and silent, it's wrapping me round, lost in the cotton candy fog. Your voice is a whisper from 3 rooms away. Or maybe it's just how the shadows all play. The air tastes like summer in old carnival rides, hiding the places where the heartbreak still hides. I reach for a solid, a stone or a tree, but my fingers just pull back a handful of glee that melts into nothing, that turns into gray as soon as the sunlight starts pulling away. It's the kind of sad that's disguised as a treat, the hollowed out center of something so sweet. You can't build a house on a cloud made of spun, and you can't find the truth when the melting's begun. I'm lost in a cotton candy fog, drifting like smoke through a hollowed out log. It's pretty and spinning, it's airy and light, it's hiding the stars from the edge of the night. It's a pastel color, beautiful light, dissolving the moment. I try to say why, sticky and silent, it's wrapping me round, lost in the cotton candy fog. Spine so thin, where do I begin? It's sweet on the tongue, but the ladder's unrun, just pink and gold. Until the air turns cold. A dreamy shimmering synth fade out.
The street lamp is humming a low voltage tune for the tired, the broken, the ghosts of the noon. The sidewalk is hard and the curves are all cold, like a story that's already been bought and sold. to the city start to stumble and fall. No soft velvet pillows, no blankets of down, just the iron and stone of a hollowed out town. It's a concrete lullaby, a song of the street, the rhythmic vibration of a bitter defeat. Close your eyes to the sirens, the hum of the wire, the soot and the shadow, the ghost of a fire. Sleep where the gravel and the memories meet, in the arms of a city that's lost all its heat. Yeah, it's a lullaby, a concrete lullaby. The gratings are breathing, the hot steam-filled sigh underneath the weight of a windowless sky. I remember the softness of a hand in my own before I was carved out of granite and bone. Now the bridge is my ceiling, the alley's my bed, with 1,000-ton secret inside of my head. It's a hard-hearted comfort, a structural piece, waiting for the silence to bring a release. Don't look for the stars through the smog and the haze, they're just the reflections of our better off days. The moon is a spotlight on a stage that is bare, and there's nobody left here to actually care. It's a concrete lullaby, a song of the street, the rhythmic vibration of a bitter defeat. Close your eyes to the sirens, the hum of the wire, the soot and the shadow, the ghost of a fire. Sleep where the gravel and the memories meet, in the arms of a city that's lost all its heat. Yeah, it's a lullaby, a concrete lullaby. The light is red, the light is green, but I'm stuck in the gray of the in-between. Just sleep. I'm blowing on my fingers just to feel the heat, but the wind is moving inside and it won't retreat. The radiator's clicking like a heart out of time, and the frost on the window is starting to climb. I reach for your side of the bed in the dark, but there's nothing but space and a missing spark. Just a hollowed out ribcage where the fire used to be, and a numbness that's slowly swallowing me. I've got cold hands and an empty heart, watching the finish before we could start. The blood in my veins feels like shards of glass, waiting for the season of us to pass. I could wrap myself in 1,000 wool threads, but I can't stop the shivering inside of my head. Yeah, it's a bitter wind blowing through the dark, with cold hands and an empty heart. An empty heart. I saw my reflection in a frozen stream, a jagged little piece of a broken dream. I try to make a fist, try to hold on tight to the memory of how you felt in the light, but my grip is a ghost and my touch is a stone. It's a different kind of freezing when you're freezing alone. The gloves on the table are a matching pair, but one of them is waiting for a hand that isn't there. They say that the spring is just around the bend, but how do you bloom when you've come to an end? The ice isn't melting, it's turning to steel, and I'm Polaroids taped to the wall of a summer that wasn't quite mine after all. The laughter was rented, the smiles were on loan, in a house that I knew I would never truly own. I was spending a fortune on feelings I'd owe to a future that's finally started to show. The bills on the table, the interest is high, and I'm bankrupt beneath the midwinter sky. It was just borrowed happiness, a dead in the dark, a temporary fire, a transient spark. I was living on credit, I was breathing on time, committing a beautiful slow motion crime. Now the repo man's knocking, he's taking it back, leaving me here with a heart that's gone black. Yeah, it's expensive, this borrowed happiness. This borrowed happiness. I remember the dinner, the wine in the glass, like we were the ones who would let the years pass. But the joy had a watermark, clear as the day, a warning that everything fades into gray. I was a squatter in a palace of us, before all the gold started turning to rust. I should have known by the way that you breathed that the roots of our garden were already cleaved. You can't keep a sunset by closing your eyes, or build a foundation on beautiful lies. I'm paying it back in the salt of my tears for a handful of months that felt like 20 years. It was just borrowed happiness, a dead in the dark, a temporary fire, a transient spark. I was living on credit, I was breathing on time, committing a beautiful slow motion crime. Now the repo man's knocking, he's taking it back, leaving me here with a heart that's gone black. Yeah, it's expensive, this borrowed happiness. Borrowed happiness. Clink. The debt is all paid, the memories are gone, just like the plans that we made. Just borrowed, not mine. I'm laying in the wreckage of a 4 a.m. bed, counting the stitches and the things that we said. The wound isn't open, there's no silver blade, just the slow motion dead of the choices we made. I can feel the warmth spread in the quiet retreat, staining the cotton and the white of the sheet. It's not a red river, it's a color of gone, a shadow that's waiting for a grey colored dawn. It's bleeding into the sheets, a silent spill of a heart that has finally lost its own will. I'm soaking in almost, I'm drowning in near, while the ghost of your presence is starting to clear. No bandage can hold and no tourniquet stays against the slow leak of our better off days. Yeah, it's heavy, bleeding into the sheets. I try to roll over, try to find a dry spot, but the mattress is heavy with every thought. It's a saturated sorrow, a fabric of ache that I'm forced to lie in until I can lap of a beautiful crash, written in salt and a cold gray ash. It's bleeding into the sheets, a silent spill of a heart that has finally lost its own will. I'm soaking in almost, I'm drowning in you, while the ghost of your presence is starting to clear. No bandage can hold it, no tourniquet stays against the slow leak of our better off days. Yeah, it's heavy, bleeding into the sheets. I'm laying in the wreckage of a 4 a.m. bed. I'm laying in the wreckage of a 4 a.m. bed. I'm laying in the wreckage of a 4 a.m. bed, counting the stitches and the things that we said. The wound isn't open, there's no silver blade, just the slow motion death of the choices we made. I can feel the warmth spreading, a quiet retreat, staining the cotton and the white of the sheet. It's not a red river, it's a color of gone, a shadow that's waiting for a gray-colored dawn. It's bleeding into the sheets, a silent spill of a heart that has finally lost its own will. I'm soaking in almost, I'm drowning in you, while the ghost of your presence is starting to clear. No bandage can hold it, no tourniquet stays against the slow leak of our better off days. Yeah, it's heavy, bleeding into the sheets. I'm not moving, I'm just letting it soak. The last of the fire, the last of the smoke, just the sheets and the stain. A symphony of silence. The conductor's baton is a splintered wood, pointing at a place where a harmony stood. The violins are resting in their velvet cases, while the shadows are filling the empty spaces. I'm sitting in the front row all alone, in the theater built to silence and of stone. The sheet music is blank, the ink is all fled, leaving nothing but the echoes of the things we said. It's a symphony of silence, a grand quiet swell, the sound of a heart with nothing left to tell. No soaring crescendos, no rhythmic beat, just the cold, hollowed out air of defeat. I'm listening for a note, I'm listening for a sign, but the melody has crossed a terminal line. Yeah, it's a symphony of silence. The brass is all tarnished, the wood rends are dry underneath the vast and a soundproof sky. I remember the thunder, I remember the light, when our love was a song in the middle of the night. Now it's just the hum of the air in the vents is a canyon, every pause is a wall, and I'm the only one left to hear it all fall. If I scream at the rafters, does the music return, or is silence the lesson I'm destined to learn? That some compositions were meant to be brief, ending in a movement of absolute grief. It's a symphony of silence, a grand quiet swell, the sound of a heart with nothing left to tell. No soaring crescendos, no rhythmic beat, just the cold, hollowed out air of defeat. I'm listening for a note, I'm listening for a sign, but the melody is crossed a terminal line. Yeah, it's a symphony of silence. The lights are going down, the curtain is heavy and red, the concert is over, music is dead, just the silence, the final note. The final note. It didn't go up in a forest of flame, or a lightning strike on a golden frame. It wasn't a crash or a thunderous sound, tearing the garden out of the ground. It was the glow of a cigarette end in the hand of a lover I used to call friend. A quiet consumption, a cellular crawl, while the shadows grew longer along the hall. It's a slow burn to ashes, a smoldering heat, the scent of a victory turned to defeat. No heat in the kitchen, no fire in the bed, just a low frequency hum of the things we never said. I'm watching the edges turn brittle and black, and I know there's no way to bring the light back. Yeah, it's a slow burn to ashes. The photographs curl in the center of the pile, erasing the curve of your permanent smile. I try to fan it, I tried to blow, but the oxygen's gone and the embers are low. It's the way that a candle begins to lean before it dissolves in a pool of the mean. We're just the residue, gray and thin, waiting for the wind to finally let us in. There's no smoke signal, there's no alarm to warn of the quiet and the permanent harm. It's a chemical change, a permanent dry underneath the heavy and a soot-covered sky. It's a slow burn to ashes, a smoldering heat, the scent of a victory turned to defeat. No heat in the kitchen, no fire in the bed, just a low frequency hum of the things we never said. I'm watching the edges turn has lost its form. Just ashes, just the grave. I'm tracing the air where your laughter once hung, a ghost of a melody, barely yet sung. The paper is textured, the charcoal is light. I'm trying to capture the sound of the night. It's not a portrait, it's not even a face. It's just the perspective of an empty space. A curve in the static, a line in the dark, the cooling remains of a dying out spark. It's a sketch of a sigh, a whisper and let the weight of the things that we never quite said. It's a smudge on the border of us and of gone, a shadow that's waiting for a gray-colored dawn. I'm drawing the silence, I'm shading the white in a jagged and delicate sketch of a sight. The graphite is silver, the edges are frayed, like the fragile foundations of the plans that we made. If I press any harder, the paper will tear, leaving me clutching at handfuls of air. It's a motion of sorrow, a sweep of the hand, a map of a country I can't understand. One stroke for the longing and two for the fear, until the outline of lonely is perfectly clear. It's the breath that you held when you turned for the door, the rattle of heartbeats on a cold kitchen floor. It's a masterpiece made out of nothing at all, just a pencil dust ghost on a white plaster wall. It's a sketch of a sigh, a whisper and let the weight of the things that we never quite said. It's a smudge on the border of us and of gone, a shadow that's waiting for a gray-colored dawn. I'm drawing the silence, I'm shading the white in a jagged and delicate sketch of a sigh. The line stops here, the page is still white, just a breath, lost in the night. A sketch, a sigh. I'm tracing the air. I'm standing in a square of fluorescent light, in a place where the morning is always the night. There's a chair by the window, a cup on the tray of a conversation that drifted away. I've got a closet of Sundays that never arrived, and a garden of maybes that never survived. The wallpaper's peeling in strips of perhaps, between the heavy cold lines of the maps. It's a room full of almost, a gallery of near, where the ghosts of the endings are starting to clear. I almost said stay, you almost said wait, in the quietest house on a dead-ended Clock on the mantle is a second too slow, like it's holding its breath, like it's scared to let go of the moment your hand was a ghost on the latch, and the fire was waiting for a single struck match. I'm tracing the outlines of a life we didn't live, of the apologies neither was ready to give. It's a museum of clothes, a monument of none, where the colors are fading in every single thought. If I open the window, does the almost fly out? Or is it the oxygen for every shadow of doubt? I'm a curator of nearly a king of the just, in a palace of silver that's turning to rust. It's a room full of almost, a gallery of near, where the ghosts of the endings are starting to clear. I almost said stay, you almost said wait, in the quietest house on a dead-ended fate. No yes and no, no, just the middle of the road, the weight of a story that's yet to be told. Yeah, it's crowded in here, in a room full of almost. I'm leaving the light on, just in case, but I'm losing the memory of your almost face. Just almost, only almost. A portrait of pain. I'm sharpening the charcoal to a needle point, to sketch the ache in every single joint, the shadows under eyes that haven't slept, and the reservoir of secrets that we kept. It's not a crying face or a twisted mouth, it's the way the compass needle's pointing south. It's the stillness of a hand beside the phone, a masterpiece of being left alone. It's a portrait of pain, a study in the dark, without a single highlight or a spark. I'm capturing the texture of the note, and the heavy silent weight of letting go. No vibrant reds, no energetic gold, just a story that is growing gray and old. Yeah, it's a portrait of pain. The background is a wash of empty halls, where the memories are peeling off the walls. I'm shading in the hollows of my chest, where the ghost of your heartbeat used to rest. If I hang it in the light, will it bleed? Or is it just the document I need to prove that I was here and I was real, before the numbness taught me not to feel? The frame is made of wood that's starting to rot from the acidity of every single thought. I'm signing my name in a corner of the deep, where the promises go for their final sleep. It's a portrait of pain, a study in the dark, without a single highlight or a spark. I'm capturing the texture of the note, and the heavy silent weight of letting go. No vibrant reds, no energetic gold, just a story that is growing gray and old. Yeah, it's a portrait of pain. Step back, it's finished now. The color is gone and I don't know how. Just a portrait, just I'm sharpening the charcoal. The moon is a sliver of a silver bone, shining on a house that's grown too prone to silence. The shadows are tucked in the corners, and where the could-have-beens begin their quiet violence. Don't fight the heavy, don't fight the deep. The secrets you carry are yours to keep. For a while, just let the pillow catch the weight of the day, and watch the colors of the heartache fade into a smile. It's a lullaby for the lonely, a song for the broken, for the I love yous that went forever unspoken. Close your eyes and let the rhythm of the rain wash the static from your tired and weary brain. No more chasing, no more trying to be strong. Just drift where the hollow and the hurt belong. Yeah, it's a lullaby, a lullaby for the lonely. The world is a hum and a distant blur beyond the places where we used to occur together. The sheets are a desert, the blankets are stone, but you're the king of a kingdom you built on your own. Tonight there's no one to wait for, no one to please, just the sound of the wind through the skeleton trees. So let the darkness be a soft velvet glove, and forget for a moment the shape of our love. Sleep now, the war is at a truce. The stars are all hanging in a golden noose. There's nothing left to fix, nothing left to find. It's a lullaby for the lonely, a song for the broken, for the I love yous that went forever unspoken. Close your eyes and let the rhythm of the rain wash the static from your tired and weary brain. No more chasing, no more trying to be strong. Just drift where the hollow and the hurt belong. Yeah, it's a lullaby, a lullaby for the lonely. Ding, the light is out, the room is still, and the dreams are coming against your will. Good night, just good night. Looking at a photo of a ghost in a frame, of a face I know well, but a different name. We were standing so close, just a shadow apart, but the distance was already breaking my heart. I had the speech ready, the words on my tongue, but the air turned to ice and the song went unsung. Now I'm reading the chapters we'll never begin, of a life that was lived on the outside looking in. It's the heaviest weight, this hollowed out space, for a love that never found but is already gone. I see you in the market, I see you in the street, and my heart skips a rhythm it can't quite repeat. I'm a master of fine and a pro at the hello, while I'm drowning in a sea of the things you don't know. I kept every ticket, I saved every glance, like a fool holding on to a ghost of a chance. But you can't lose a person you never quite had, and that's the part that is driving me mad. There's no remember when or a way back then, just a might have been over and over again. I'm mourning a phantom, I'm chasing a spark that died in the cradle and left me in the dark. It's the heaviest weight, this hollowed out space for a love that never found its own place. No breakup to cry over, no bridges to burn, just a lesson I'm forced to forever unlearn. It's a funeral for a flame that never caught fire, the silent collapse of a secret desire. Yeah, it's a long, lonely road that I'm walking on, for a love that never started, but is already gone. No goodbye, because there was no hello, just the seeds of a flower that refused to grow. Yeah, it never started. I'm looking through glass at a grid of cold lights, where the distance is measured in stories and flights. 1,000 black windows, a million glass eyes, reflecting the smoke of the industrial skies. I'm perfectly safe in the steel and stone cage, but I'm reading the words of a hollowed out page. You're somewhere down there, just a blur in the street, while the wind is the corner with a bitter defeat. It's a heart in the high rises, suspended in air, with no one to talk to and no one to care. I'm closer to heaven, but further from home, in a penthouse of sorrow made of glass and of chrome. The city is humming a low-frequency moan, but it's just the sound of being alone. Yeah, heart in the high rises, beating on its own. Beating on its own. The elevator's hum is the only sound left in a building that's quiet and quietly bereft. I've got the best view of the bridges and bays, but I'm blinded by all of our better off days. I could open the window, let the altitude in, let the cold of the summer settle under my skin, but I'm tethered to nothing but a ghost of a trace of a love that couldn't handle this much empty space. Down on the pavement, the world is a rush, but up here the silence is a physical crush. I'm a king on a mountain of concrete and wire, watching the sunset extinguish the fire. It's a heart in the high rises, suspended in air, with no one to talk the city's far and I'm just a heart high up alone. The floor is wax to a mirror shine, but I'm the only one standing in line to see the frames hanging heavy and low in the flickering light of a terminal glow. I got a ticket for a one-man show of every I love you that had to let go. The air is cold and it smells like dust, and the iron hinges are turning to rust. It's a gallery of lost loves, a museum of gone, where the statues are silent and the shadows are long. I'm walking the aisles of the could have been, tracing the cracks where the daylight got in. No happy ever after, no welcome back home, just marble and memories in columns of chrome. In the gallery of lost loves, I'm the only one left in the room. There's the one from the summer of 21, a sketch of a beach and a setting sun. And there's the one that I didn't see coming, the sound of a heartbeat, a distant drum. And I got a wing for the almost the ones, and a vault for the stories that ended in guns, or silence, or static, or a slow motion slide into a place where the feelings all hide. The exit is marked with a neon exit sign, but I can't seem to find the end of the line. I'm a curator of heartaches, a collector of why, underneath the vast and a painted on sky. It's a gallery of lost loves, a museum of gone, where the statues are silent and the shadows are long. I'm walking the aisles of the could have been, tracing the cracks where the daylight got in. No happy ever after, no welcome back home, just marble and memories in columns of chrome. In the gallery of lost loves, I'm the only one left in the room. The lights are dimming, the doors are all locked. I'm sleeping in the hallway where the memories are flawed. Just a gallery, a hollowed out hole. The canvas of gray, the colors ran out on the palette last night, leaving me here in a world without light. I'm holding a brush with a trembling hand, trying to paint what I don't understand. The crimson is gone and the gold is all fled, just like the always and the things that we said. Now there's a wash of a wintering sky, covering everything, asking me why. It's a canvas of gray, a portrait anew, where the shadows are heavy and the highlights are low. I'm blending the charcoal, I'm shading the deep of a promise we made, but we couldn't quite keep. No vibrant horizons, no morning glory blue, just 1,000 different shades of losing you. Yeah, it's a canvas of gray, and I'm painting it alone. And I'm painting it alone. I tried to sketch in the curve of your face, but the lead wouldn't hold in this hollowed out space. It's a landscape of static, a field of dry stone, the kind of perspective you only find alone. The edges are blurred and the focus is lost in a layer of varnish made of silver and frost. It's not a masterpiece, it's just a release of the colorful war that's finally at peace. If I add a drop of white, does it turn into hope, or is it just a way to help me handle the slope? I'm drowning in neutral, I'm fading to mist in a version of us that ceased to exist. It's a canvas of gray, a portrait of nowhere. The shadows are heavy and the highlights are low. I'm blending the charcoal, I'm shading the deep of a promise we made, but we couldn't quite keep. No vibrant horizons, no morning glory blue, just 1,000 different shades of losing you. Yeah, it's a canvas of gray, and I'm painting it alone. Clink, the water turns cloudy, the image is gone, just a canvas waiting for the dawn. The street lamps are bleeding a jaundiced gold on a story that's already growing old. The asphalt is drinking the violet light of a city that's trying to hide from the night. I'm looking for red and the taillights glow, but it's just a warning of where I can't go. And the silver of the moon is a cold, sharp knife, cutting the cord on a different life. These are the colors of the night, a bruised design where the shadows are blurring the safety line. There's a neon pink in the window pane, washing out in a charcoal rain. I'm drowning in indigo, fading into you, trying to remember how colors should feel. Yeah, it's a spectrum of silence and a prism of fright, the beautiful, terrible colors of the night. The green of the walk sign is a lie, I'm told, as I'm standing here shaking in the bitter cold. And the orange of the heater in the corner bar is as distant and dim as a dying star. I'm mixing the shadows with a drop of the blue, until every shade is a version of you. It's a saturated sorrow, a vivid despair, and it's hanging like smoke in the heavy air. Black isn't empty, it's a heavy weight, the color of a heart that arrived too late. And white is the static, the end of the song, a place where the memories no longer belong. These are the colors of the night, a bruised design where the shadows are blurring the safety line. There's a neon pink in the window pane, washing out in a charcoal rain. I'm drowning in indigo, fading the night. A splash of the brew.